Desserts are not the easiest thing to make, at least for me, because I'm not that good of a baker and I'm not too fond of desserts. But once in a while, I get this craving to eat something sweet. If that happens, I have to satisfy that urge as soon as possible. Otherwise, I cannot do anything else. I cannot concentrate on anything until I eat something sweet, some kind of a dessert. Whenever that happens, I make this dessert. I make other desserts as well, but most of them take longer time, and this is one of my favorites. So, next time you're craving for a dessert, instead of a cookie or a slice of cake, try this 10-minute Indian dessert. This is one of the easiest Indian desserts you can make, and it's impossible to f this up. It just takes 10 minutes. Only thing you may have to buy for this is semolina. All the other ingredients are kitchen staples. You can find this in any Indian grocery store. It's very cheap. 1 pound of this is like $2 or $3. You can make many dishes with this. It's very healthy as well. It's good to have this in your kitchen. You don't even have to do any prep for this. When I say 10 minutes, it literally takes 10 minutes. All I did was I've got some hot water in the kettle and I've heated about 2 to 3 tablespoons of milk in the microwave for about 20 to 30 seconds. Soak few saffron strands in this warm milk for about 5 to 10 minutes. Just do this before you start the cooking. Give it a stir and let that sit for a few minutes while we do the cooking. Technically, you can use semolina flour as well for this, but I did not like the texture of the final dessert that comes with it. It was more doughy because semolina flour is much finer than semolina. But if you have semolina flour in your kitchen, give this a try. You may like it. Alright, for this, you can use ghee or clarified butter if you have it. If you don't have it, just use butter. I'm going to use a mix of butter and ghee. Like I said, you can use just butter if you want. Throw that in a saucepan and let that melt while you chop some nuts. I'm using just almonds here because that's all I have. You can use cashews and pistachios as well. Roughly chop the almonds and saute them in butter or ghee for about 1 or 2 minutes before adding the raisins. You can skip these if you're not a fan of raisins, but I love raisins. Saute those for a couple of minutes until the raisins balloon up. They kind of puff up a bit. And while that's going on, gather some cardamom seeds. Just the seeds, not the green part. About 6 to 8 cardamom pods should be enough for this, but it depends on your taste, so use it accordingly. Add these cardamom seeds to the saucepan and then add the semolina. I'm using about 10 ounces of semolina here. This gives about 6 to 8 servings. Add this to the saucepan along with the nuts and saute the semolina for about 4 to 5 minutes until the color on this slightly changes. You have to keep a constant eye on this. Otherwise, the semolina touching the pan is going to burn, so keep moving it. And while that's going on, we can get the other ingredients ready for this. 10 ounces of sugar, same quantity as the semolina, but you may have to add a little bit more than that. I don't like it too sweet, so I always use less sugar. Water, hot water, about double the quantity of semolina, 20 ounces. And don't forget the saffron milk. Use the saffron only if you have it, otherwise don't worry about it. It gives a pleasant taste, but even without saffron, this is going to be really good. So don't get too hung up on saffron. When you see that slight change in color with the semolina, add all the ingredients. Hot water, saffron milk and sugar. You can use regular room temperature water for this, but it's going to take more time. If you're okay with that, you can use just room temperature water. If you're using hot water, it's going to splatter a lot initially. So you have to be careful with that or reduce the heat before you add the water. Semolina absorbs all the water very quickly. So let all that water cook out. It's going to take just a couple of minutes. And believe it or not, that's it. Semolina has a tendency to form lumps. Because we sauteed the semolina first, there is less chance to clump up. But it may still happen. So as soon as you add the water, keep stirring and break down the lumps if there are any and let all that water cook out. And that's it, you have your dessert. Taste and add some more sugar if necessary. I decided to add some more sugar. You can find the exact measurements and the whole recipe at the website. Link is in the description box below. Let the extra sugar melt and cook that for a couple of minutes. Once all the water has evaporated, cover the pan with the lid and let it rest for 5 minutes. It's going to thicken up a bit and that's it. It's ready to eat. If you are serving this to your guests at dinner, You can present this slightly better. Add the dessert to your ramekin or any serving bowl and invert that onto your plate. You may have to bang on that couple of times to release that from the ramekin. And this is completely optional. Cover this up with some edible silver and couple of saffron strands and some toasted nuts. For just 10 minutes of work you put in for this, if you present it like this, it's going to elevate the whole dessert and your whole dinner party. You should definitely try this. This is one of the best and the easiest desserts. Try this.